Okay, so get ready, because today we are diving deep into the secret language of birds.
Oh, that should be interesting.
It really should. We've got tons of research and expert analysis,
Sounds like it.
all to help us decode those chirps and songs we hear every day from our feathered friends.
I mean, everyone loves listening to bird sounds.
Right. But have you ever wondered what they're really saying?
Yeah,
We're going to find out today.
I'm ready.
So we're going to get into all of that.
Awesome.
But first, I have to ask.
Yeah.
We often appreciate birdsong for its beauty.
Right.
Like, ooh, that's pretty. But, it's so much more than that.
It's true.
It's how they're navigating their world out there.
It's fascinating, really. It's essential for their survival.
It is.
Attracting a mate, defending their territory.
It's like we're tuning into their own personal radio waves.
Yeah.
So let's actually start with the most obvious form of bird communication, singing.
Okay.
Like, what's the main evolutionary purpose behind those tunes? Is it all about serenading a potential mate?
I mean, it definitely plays a big role.
Yeah.
For lots of bird species, a male's song is like a display of genetic fitness.
Oh, interesting.
Like a really complex song.
Yeah.
Like the nightingale sings, suggests to females that the male has those desirable genes, maybe indicating better foraging skills or stronger offspring.
So it's not just about a pretty voice.
No.
It's about showing, hey, I can survive out here.
Exactly.
This is incredible.
Yeah. And it's not just attracting mates.
Oh, right.
Bird song is also important for defending territory.
So, like, they're setting boundaries.
Yeah. Think of the red-winged blackbird.
Yeah.
Their calls are like a clear warning to rivals to stay away from their turf.
It's like a keep out sign.
Exactly. And actually, it's not just about the song.
Oh, really?
It's also about the timing.
Oh, wow.
Birdsong is at its peak during breeding season, filling the air with a chorus of courtship and territorial declarations.
That's so cool.
And this brings us to the dawn chorus.
Oh, yeah. The dawn chorus. Why so early? Is it because they're early birds?
Well, there are a few theories. One idea is that during those pre-dawn hours, sound travels farther because the air is still and there aren't competing noises.
Oh, that makes sense.
This lets their songs reach more potential mates and rivals.
Smart.
Right.
So it's like primetime radio airwaves before rush hour.
Exactly.
So we've talked about songs, but what about chirps and chatters?
Oh, I love those.
Me too. Those quick calls that don't quite qualify as songs, did those have specific meanings too?
They do. Those calls are usually shorter and less melodic than songs, and they make up a whole other vocabulary in the avian world.
No way.
We can think of them as having different categories, like
Okay.
alarm calls,
Yeah.
food calls, and even contact calls.
Wow, so they have an entire communication system beyond those beautiful songs.
They do.
That's really cool. I never knew that.
It's amazing.
It really is. I'm particularly interested in those alarm calls.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about those?
Well, they are essential for survival.
Yeah.
They basically alert others to potential danger.
So it's like a danger alert system.
Exactly. And it gets even more amazing.
Okay.
Some species have different alarm calls for different types of threats.
What?
The black-capped chickadee, for example.
That.
They have distinct calls for predators approaching from the ground versus the air.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. It's like they're giving us a play-by-play.
I know, it's amazing.
How do scientists even begin to study that?
It's definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
But they use careful observation and playback experiments.
What does that mean?
They'll play recordings of different alarm calls in the field and observe the bird's reaction.
Oh, that's so smart.
Right.
So it's not just about identifying the call, but also understanding the context and the behavior it elicits.
Exactly.
This is so much more complex and interesting than I ever imagined.
It really is fascinating.
It really is.
We've really only just scratched the surface.
Oh, really?
Because besides all of those vocalizations,
Right.
birds have another way to communicate.
What's that?
Visual communication.
It's like we've been so focused on the soundtrack that we've missed half the movie.
Exactly.
So tell me more about these visual cues.
Okay.
What are some ways birds communicate without making a sound?
Well, they use body language,
Okay.
feather displays,
No.
even coordinated movements within a flock.
Wow.
It's like a silent ballet,
That's a great way to put it.
conveying messages that are just as complex as any song.
So when I think of visual communication in birds, I immediately think of a peacock fanning its tail feathers.
Of course.
It's such a striking display. What's the message there?
It's all about attracting a mate.
Oh, really?
It's the peacock's way of saying, look at me, I'm the healthiest mate you could ask for.
Oh, wow.
And it's not just peacocks.
Okay.
Think of cardinals,
Right.
tanagers,
Yeah.
birds of paradise.
Yeah.
Those vibrant colors are all about standing out in advertising. Hey, look at my jeans.
So it's like they're dressing to impress. But you were saying earlier that some birds, like owls,
Mm.
have feather patterns that help them blend in. That seems like the opposite of attracting attention.
It is. That's adaptation for you.
Right.
In that case, the message is camouflage.
Oh!
Owls, nightjars, and other birds with cryptic plumage are saying, please don't look at me.
So they can ambush their prey?
Exactly.
That makes sense.
It's a survival tactic.
So their appearance can communicate so much about their lifestyle and environment.
It really is fascinating.
What about all those movements we see?
Oh, yeah.
The wing flashes, the tail fans.
Mm-hmm.
Those seem intentional too.
They are.
What's going on there?
Well, a wing flash can scare a predator, which lets a bird escape.
Oh, that's smart.
Or think about mockingbirds.
Yeah.
They flash those white wing patches while they're foraging.
Oh, interesting.
It's likely to flesh out insects.
Wow, so they were communicating and hunting.
Multitasking.
I love that.
Right.
And what about those tail fans?
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
Those always seem so dramatic, like a power move.
Exactly. Male turkeys fan their tails to impress females. Or birds using tail movements to show dominance within a flock.
Oh, wow.
Even the smallest change in their feathers can speak volumes.
It's amazing how much information they convey without making a sound.
I know.
It's like they need subtitles.
We do need subtitles.
We do.
It's truly remarkable.
It is. But this deep dive gets even deeper, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because we also have birds that can mimic sounds.
We do.
Like they're running their own cover band.
Exactly. Mockingbirds, for example.
Yeah.
They can mimic over 200 different bird songs.
Oh, wow.
Plus a bunch of environmental sounds.
Really?
And then there are lyrebirds.
Ones that can sound like a chainsaw.
Yes. Lyrebirds can sound like car alarms.
Yeah.
Camera shutters, a whole bunch of human-made noises.
Makes you wonder what's going on in their little bird brains
It really does.
when they can replicate those sounds perfectly.
Amazing.
It is. But this all begs the question.
Okay.
With such a complex communication system, can we ever truly crack the code and speak bird?
That's a great question.
I imagine it would be hard. Where do we even begin to try to understand a language as intricate as this?
Well, scientists have really great tools these days.
Like what?
Acoustic analysis lets them break down dead sounds.
Wow.
Spectrograms provide visual representations of those sounds.
So are we starting to see the patterns, the building blocks of their language?
Exactly.
That's incredible.
And there's artificial intelligence.
Right.
We can train computers to recognize and categorize bird vocalizations.
So we may not be having conversations with birds anytime soon.
Right.
But it sounds like we're getting closer to understanding their complex communication system.
We are.
But I'm sure there are still challenges.
Absolutely.
Like what?
Bird vocalizations are incredibly diverse, with different species having their own dialects and variations.
Right.
And then there's the environment.
Yeah.
Noise pollution can make it tough to study bird communication in cities.
Right. It's like trying to have a conversation at a rock concert.
Exactly.
But even the progress we've made is astounding.
It really is.
It really makes you appreciate how much is going on in the natural world around us.
It does. And it shows just how important it is to protect these communication networks.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
How does bird communication provide insights into the well-being of our ecosystems? So it's like birds are giving us all these updates about what's going on around them.
Yeah, and we're only just starting to listen.
That's a great way to put it.
Birds are so sensitive to changes in their environment,
Right.
which makes them great indicators of ecological health.
Okay.
Changes in their songs, breeding patterns, even those alarm calls we talked about can tell us a lot about the state of our ecosystems.
So what are some specific things they might be telling us?
For example, let's say we see a decline in birdsong in a particular area.
Okay.
It could mean habitat degradation or noise pollution.
Oh.
Or if they change their migration patterns
Yeah.
or nesting behavior, that could be climate change.
It's amazing how small changes in their communication can tell us so much about bigger environmental problems.
I know, it's fascinating.
It really is.
Yeah.
This is making me realize just how important it is to protect their communication.
It's really important.
It is.
Mm.
What can we do to make sure we can still hear those bird songs?
Well, a lot of it is just being aware.
Okay.
Take some time to learn about your local birds.
Right.
The more we know about them, the more we'll appreciate them.
So it's like learning a new language.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So beyond just listening, what else can we do?
Planting native trees,
Okay.
providing water sources,
Right.
not using so many pesticides.
Gotcha.
Those are all great ways to support birds in their communication.
And what about citizen science projects? How can those help us understand bird communication?
Oh, citizen science is great.
Yeah.
You can join bird counts,
Okay.
monitor species, even help track migration patterns.
Okay.
It's a fun way to contribute to science and learn more about nature.
So it's about observation, education, and action.
Exactly.
This has been awesome. I'm never going to listen to birdsong the same way.
I'm glad to hear that.
What's the one thing you hope listeners will take away from this?
I hope they'll understand just how complex and important bird communication really is.
Yeah.
It's not just a pretty soundtrack. It's
Right.
a vital part of life on Earth.
Right.
So listen to their songs, their calls, their behaviors,
Yeah.
and you can learn so much about the health of our planet.
It's like you said earlier, we're all connected.
Exactly.
A good reminder that we share this planet with others, and they all have something to say.
They do.
We just need to listen.
That's a great way to put it. Next time you're outside, listen to the birds around you.
Yeah.
You might be surprised by what you hear.
It's like a free concert all around us.
I like that.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring and keep listening to the fascinating language of the natural world.